Anmol Bali, as well as Amit Bhardwaj, two fearless reporters who've been on the ground reporting overnight and through the day on this unfolding story. Anmol, coming to you quickly first, the social media aspect is something that nobody has touched upon properly yet, because there has been lack of clarity about what is real and what is fake news. Now, this India Today investigation by Ankit Bhardwaj, by Ankit Kumar, has confirmed to us that things started at least 8 days before the violence erupted, Anmol. 8 days of social media poison.
It was all building up, Shiv, as you can see on the social media. Both sides were building up. Various videos were published. Hello. Is my voice audible?
We can hear you, Anmol. Go ahead.
Yeah. Various social media posts were seen on the internet, on the various social media platforms by the both groups. They were threatening each other. A video also came from the Monu Manesar, where he said that he'll be part of the procession, where he also said he also asked his team members and other Bajrang Dal workers to become part of the procession. And from that moment, the build-up has started on the social media for the procession. And yes, the violence took place because of rumors on the social media by the both groups. Shiv.
Okay, let's bring in Amit as well, because Amit has been tracking protests that have been taking place in different parts of the national capital today, of the Bajrang Dal as well. There's Amit, he's also there, with us. Amit, the social media aspect, you've been traveling through all of these affected zones. The social media aspect of it is something that has been ignored so far, like I was discussing with both Ankit and Anmol, because of the amount of fake news and the amount of, tutu meme and finger pointing that was taking place. The VHP and the Bajrang Dal point fingers at the, the Muslim locals of Nuh and say they are responsible. They say that the Bajrang Dal are the original, provocators as far as this is concerned. But what seems to be established now is that both sides were indulging in this fanning of the fury on social media, and it was only a matter of time before it became a part of the real world.
Well, absolutely right, Shiv. The stage was set for all this that has unfolded in Nuh and now in several parts of Haryana. And I would say, and you would also recall as to how the breeding ground was created on social media, not only around this specific time zone, but also for the past several months. Remember the kind of mosque controversy that had unfolded in Gurugram, in this particular zone. So all this is stemming from the hate which has been peddled on the social media accounts, be it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all different platforms have been used. So the stage was set, and what it was just a matter of a matchstick hitting the gunpowder which was lying there, and eventually the entire communal violence unfolded in Nuh, which later spread on in Gurugram, and now it is has affected different other parts of Haryana as well. And Shiv, it is quite interesting. In Manesar, I'm standing right now. There's a Bhishma Das Mandir right behind me, and apparently Section 144 has been imposed in several parts of Haryana, including Nuh, Manesar, and several parts of Gurugram as well. But right here in this temple, you could see several of these activists from the Hindutva groups have assembled here in big numbers. So that is also a question as to how the police is allowing that to happen. And earlier in the day as well, we had seen as to how the VHP, the Bajrang Dal, the other Hindutva groups had managed to stage protests not only across the national capital, but also across India, and specifically across North India. And in fact, the national highway on Delhi-Faridabad border that was blocked, VHP's Alok Kumar had himself led the protesters there, and speaking to India Today, he had said that he had in fact hit out at MOS Rao Indrajit Singh for asking a question that as to how several people in the procession, Hindu procession, were carrying sticks and other weapons. So on the other side, you also have VHP International President Alok Kumar saying that, Indrajit, Rao Indrajit Singh is only looking at the sticks being carried out by the Hindu pilgrims, but he is not pointing out at the guns that were being used by the other group, that is the Muslim groups in Nuh. So clearly, the battleground that has been created in Haryana right now,
yes,
the ground for that was, the breeding ground for that was built on social media. Back to you, Shiv.
Definitely on social media. Anmol and Amit, continue to stay with me. I have a couple more questions for both of you. But before that, a quick roundup of the top developments in Haryana. It's a rapidly unfolding story, lots of developments. Here is what it's like. It's day 4 of when violence first broke out at Delhi's doorstep. This India Today investigation impact is something that I want to report to you very quickly. Viewer, Haryana's Home Minister Anil Vij has taken note of the India Today sting operation that we broke on the news yesterday, uncovering glaring lapses in Nuh and Mewat by the BJP government. The Haryana government has taken the tapes that India Today has provided it with and will be initiating a probe against the officers. Haryana's Chief Minister has vowed strict action against rioters and says accused will be made to pay for all damage caused so far. Does that mean bulldozers? We don't know. When questioned about cow vigilante Monu Manesar, Khattar claims that the hunt for Monu is on and his whereabouts are still unknown. Meanwhile, Haryana's Nuh district remains gripped by uneasy tension for the 3rd consecutive day, and a curfew has been extended. While 41 FIRs have been registered so far, 116 persons have been arrested and 190 detained in Nuh alone. Hindu groups, the VHP and Bajrang Dal, have raised temperatures in the national capital region. Elsewhere, in the wake of the Nuh communal clashes, protesters blocked the Delhi-Haryana border in Badarpur, while protests were also held in adjoining Noida, Uttarakhand's Dehradun and Haryana's Panipat. Meanwhile, Monu Manesar, who the police claim they have no idea where he is at the epicenter of what's been taking place. The lynching accused spoke to India Today and refuted allegations that he was present at the yatra in Haryana's Nuh. Not just that, Monu also pinned the blame on Congress MLA Mamman Khan, accusing him of originally instigating all the violence that has taken place. On India Today, we don't just report the news, we are also investigating what may have happened amidst overwhelming evidence that there has been not just negligence, but dereliction of duty and possibly complicity as well. This is a huge India Today impact, viewer. Less than 24 hours after India Today broadcast our special sting operation revealing the glaring lapses in the Haryana Police and Haryana government, the state's Home Minister today has told India Today that the Haryana Police will probe India Today's special investigation. Our tapes have been handed over to the government. Home Minister Vij says he has seen the India Today investigation and has asked the police to probe all the findings put forward in this sting investigation. Here's India Today's Rahul Kanwal grilling the Haryana Home Minister.
विज साहब, आपने देखा होगा हमने इंडिया टुडे पे आज तक पे एक तहकीकात दिखाई जिसमें जो स्थानीय सीआईडी है वो कह रही है कि उन्होंने प्रशासन को, पुलिस के तंत्र को 8-10 दिन पहले बताया था कि इस तरह गौरक्षक जो हैं, जो काऊ विजिलेंटेज हैं, उनकी एक ये यात्रा निकलने वाली है और उसके बारे में सावधान रहने की जरूरत है। सवाल आपसे जो देश पूछना चाहता है वो ये कि वहां पे होमगार्ड की तैनाती थी, हरियाणा होमगार्ड की तैनाती थी, लेकिन आपकी रैपिड एक्शन पुलिस फोर्स, जो आपकी सेंट्रल आर्म्ड पुलिस फोर्स है, उनकी आपने तैनाती क्यों नहीं की? इतने कम पुलिस वाले क्यों थे जब ये यात्रा वहां से निकल रही थी और ये वायलेंस हो रहा था?
देखिए, ऐसा है, वो ऑडियो वीडियो मैंने भी सुनी है और उसको मैंने भेज दिया है डिपार्टमेंट को उसकी जांच कराने के लिए कि क्या उसने इनपुट दी थी, कहाँ इनपुट दी थी, किसको इनपुट दी थी, वो देखना ज़रूरी है। देखिए, ये यात्रा हर साल निकलती है और वहाँ पर जो हो सकता है कि लोकल जो प्रशासन है उसको कोई सूचना दी हो और उसके मुताबिक उन्होंने उसके इंतज़ाम कर दिए हों। जहाँ तक मैंने जानकारी हासिल की है, जितनी पुलिस पिछले सालों में लगाई जाती थी उतनी ही इस बार भी वहाँ पर लगाई गई है।
नहीं, पर फिर भी आपने देखा होगा कि वहां पे आर्म्ड पुलिस, मेरे को जो बताया गया, जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन में निकल के आया कि 2 किलोमीटर की दूरी पे आरएएफ, रैपिड एक्शन फोर्स थी, उसको तैनात नहीं किया गया। ये जो होम गार्ड्स हैं जिनके पास हथियार भी नहीं होते, वो बेचारे खड़े हुए इतनी बड़ी तादाद में। आपको मालूम था कि इस तारीख को यात्रा निकलने वाली है, फिर भी तैनाती की थोड़ी कमी थी सर।
नहीं, देखिए, ये अब प्रदेश में स्थानीय स्तर पर कई कार्यक्रम होते रहते हैं, सबकी जानकारी हमारे तक नहीं आती है, तो वहाँ पर स्थानीय प्रशासन ही अपने जो इनपुट होता है उसके हिसाब से इंतजाम करते हैं। क्योंकि मामला ये इतना बड़ा हो गया तो इमीडिएटली फिर हमें पुलिस भेजनी पड़ी है। आजू बाजू के सभी जिलों से, गुड़गांव से, झज्जर से, फरीदाबाद से, रेवाड़ी से, सारी पुलिस हमने फिर वहाँ पर भेजी जब ये मामला हो गया। पहले तो रूटीन जैसे जिले में आम कार्यक्रम होते रहते हैं उसी प्रकार से ये कार्यक्रम हो रहा था।
And 3 days after that violence erupted, the tension continues. Big revelations in the FIR accessed by India today are now going to play out in this report. You'll be hearing many of these details for the first time. The police say Pakistan Zindabad slogans were raised. Bajrang Dal VHP workers took to the streets of Delhi, blocked key national highways today. But who's responsible for this deadly mess? And even more importantly, who's responsible for protests happening even today? Why are they still being allowed?
Haryana simmers. Uneasy calm in Nuh. Parts of Gurugram burn. There's no sign of normalcy in the violence-hit zone even 3 days after communal violence flared up.
अभी तक 116 लोगों को अरेस्ट किया गया है और 90 इसके अतिरिक्त और डिटेन किए गए हैं। पूछताछ करने के बाद उनके खिलाफ भी कार्रवाई जो बनेगी वो सब की जाएगी। सारा जो विषय आया है इसके पीछे किसका हाथ है, कैसे शुरू हुआ, इन सब बातों के ऊपर भी प्रोसेस चल रही है। उस सारी प्रोसेस में कोई भी दोषी है उसको बख्शा नहीं जाएगा।
India today accessed the FIR where many stinging revelations were made. Police say there were 800 to 900 people who chanted Pakistan Zindabad slogans while marching towards the Shiv temple. It's the same temple where 2,500 people were held hostage on 31st July. Police FIR mentions that the mob marched towards the yatra with sticks and guns, and petrol bombs were even hurled at the yatra.
नूह में 41 FIR है, उसमें 116 आदमी पकड़े गए हैं। इसके अलावा नूह में अभी 90 आदमी और भी हमने डिटेन किए हैं, उनसे भी हम पूछताछ कर रहे हैं उनका क्या इन्वॉल्वमेंट है, और जो संलिप्त पाए जाएंगे उनके खिलाफ भी जो है उन्हें अरेस्ट किया जाएगा, उनके खिलाफ कानूनी कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
पुलिसकर्मी जो शोभा यात्रा में शामिल होते हैं वो एक के बाद एक भीड़ को रोकने के लिए हवाई फायरिंग शुरू कर देते हैं, लेकिन भीड़ रुकती नहीं है। लेकिन एफआईआर में जो चौंकाने वाला खुलासा हुआ है वो खुलासा ये हुआ है कि ये जो खेत आप देख पा रहे हैं मंदिर के आसपास और ये जो पहाड़ी देख पा रहे हैं, इन पहाड़ी इलाकों से जो उपद्रवी हैं 600 से 700 के लगभग जो उपद्रवी थे वो पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद के नारे लगाते हुए अवैध हथियारों से फायरिंग करते हैं।
The Bajrang Dal and VHP workers upped the ante against communal violence that rocked Haryana. The Hindu group stormed the streets of the national capital, blocking key national highway connecting Haryana's Faridabad with Delhi.
Right there you can see in your visuals, these are Bajrang Dal Karyakartas, Vishwa Hindu Parishad Karyakartas who have blocked the Badarpur Toll Plaza, which is the connecting point between the national capital and Faridabad of Haryana. And right there you have the Bajrang Dal Karyakartas sloganeering, holding Bhagwa flags and sitting on the road, literally blocking the lane which heads towards the national capital.
ये सब बातें बहुत समय से मीडिया में आ रही थी, सोशल मीडिया में। उसका ध्यान क्यों नहीं दिया गया मैं नहीं जानता। पुलिस की तैयारी क्यों नहीं थी? इंटेलिजेंस का फेलियर है। हमको हरियाणा की सरकार ने वचन दिया है कि जो जिम्मेवार अधिकारी हैं वो भी बख्शे नहीं जाएंगे।
Not just Delhi, the Hindu group workers staged massive protests in Haryana's Panipat, Uttarakhand's Dehradun, and adjoining Noida was put on high alert. 6 people were killed in the violence that nobody foresaw. But who's at fault? Bureau Report, India Today.
The lives of innocent bystanders, people who were in the crossfire, people who were part of the procession, snuffed out by the hate and the communal violence that gripped Delhi suburbs of Gurugram and Nuh in the Mewat region of Haryana. Take a look at this report, and these are the 6 faces. And things are still so raw and still so new that we don't even have pictures of the victim number 6. But take a look at these faces, because these are the people who've lost their lives. Guru Sevak Singh is victim number 1. He was a home guard. Neeraj Kumar was also a home guard. Abhishek Rajput was part of that procession. Shakti Singh was a shopkeeper. He was also there. Maulana Hafiz Saad was the Imam of a mosque in Gurugram, which was attacked. He was also killed on the same night as the no violence breaking out. And then you have victim number 6, who hasn't been identified yet, and his picture isn't out. These are the faces of who has truly paid with their lives for what happened. Take a look at this report.
Shooting, stone pelting, arson, vandalism. The mindless violence that gripped Nuh and Gurugram on the suburbs of the national capital for 2 days took 6 lives. Among the victims are both communities. Bajrang Dal worker Abhishek Rajput was allegedly shot dead. His throat was allegedly slit with a sharp weapon.
ऐसी चीज तो देखो होनी नहीं चाहिए थी बिल्कुल भी। बाकी जैसी घटना हुई सरकार जांच करेगी इसके खिलाफ, अन्याय चाहिए जी।
इंसाफ चाहिए ना, जैसे मारा गया ऐसे उनको फांसी दो, उसे मारो।
बहुत अच्छा लड़का था, किस चीज का ऐब नहीं था, बहुत अच्छा था, परिवार में अकेला था। और हमने न्याय चाहिए, जांच चाहिए, सख्त कार्रवाई चाहिए, सख्त से सख्त चाहिए।
Among the mourners standing by the victim's family was Abhishek's partner and best friend Mohsin, a Muslim.
5-6 साल थे, साथ में थे जी। वैसे कोई वो नहीं है, फर्क नहीं समझा मड़ा अभी उसने मैंने भी। बस मेरे भाई ने न्याय दिलाओ, बस मेरे तो यही वो है जी बस।
Mohammad Hafiz Saad, the Naib Imam of the Anjuman Jama Masjid in Gurugram, posted this song on social media calling for communal harmony. On Monday night, he was killed by a riotous mob that targeted the masjid.
हमारा और एक के बीच में जो है इस तरीके का हादसा हुआ और हमारे बच्चे को जो है वहाँ चाकू और गोलियों से जो है भून दिया और मेरा वही एक जरिया था, वही एक सहारा था।
With families and loved ones of the victims of the communal clashes mourn their loss, we the citizens have a duty. We need to rise above hate. Bureau Report, India Today.
If the trigger point for what happened in Haryana can be boiled down to 2 faces, then it would be the faces of 2 men, namely Bittu Bajrangi and Mohammad Samar. Both people on 2 sides of a communal divide that has resulted in the deaths of 6 people so far in the communal clashes that started on the 31st of July. But the seeds of unrest were sowed days before, at least 8 days before the eruption. And India Today's investigation has revealed that the fires of hate were fanned very much on social media. If there can be 2 faces to what triggered the horrors in Mewat, take a close look at these two men that we have on your screens right now, Bittu Bajrangi and Mohammad Samar. It was their social media posts that raised temperatures to a terrifying degree, resulting in this eruption. Each side says it was the other side that provoked first. There are some that say the other side didn't provoke at all. But Bittu Bajrangi gave a call for mobilization, putting out videos saying, "Main Mewat aa raha hoon," and warning, "Goli pe goli chalegi." A provocative call was concealed in an invitation to the Bajrang Dal's annual Shobha Yatra through Mewat. The provocation triggered a response from a Muslim local, Mohammad Samar in Nuh, who instigated his followers to break limbs and then pretend that the attack was in self-defense. He too called for his followers to bring their friends to Nuh. The first seeds were planted in a cyber fraud case in Faridabad, however, a few days before the tension. It was this man, the death of Shaikul Khan, 30 years old, on the 23rd of July in Faridabad police custody, that actually set off a chain reaction of social media posts that resulted and erupted on the 31st of July, 8 days later. Remember, Nuh has emerged as a massive epicenter for cybercrime and online scams, and the death of a man in custody, a Muslim man in custody, is now believed to be the one key trigger point that resulted in a chain of social media posts, each one more provocative than the other, both from either side, fanning temperatures, fanning flames, raising the fever pitch of anger and poison to such a level that things reached a head on the 31st of July. During that Shobha Yatra, stones were pelted and 6 people have died between Nuh and Gurugram. But this is to tell you, viewer, that it all started on social media. Joining me live now to go through some of the findings of this and get their views on it, Vishnu Gupta is National President of the Hindu Sena. Saira Shah Halim is a well-known activist. Welcome to you both. Thank you for being with us. Saira, I'd like to come to you first. You've seen a part of our investigation, and we'll be playing out more of it in the in the hours ahead. We'll also have more information about the social media posts, but it looks very much like this was far from being a spontaneous attack. It was far from being one-sided. It was something that was aggravated through social media, through provocative social media posts, for over 8 days before it erupted on the 31st of July. Saira.
Right. Yes, Shiv. So one thing I'd like to make it very clear, even if it started off on social media, isn't it the job of the authorities to quell tempers? Isn't it the job of the authorities to take actions against any particular person, or be it a group, be it a political group or a fringe group, to stop it, to ban and to ensure that these things don't happen? But then, the role of the authorities is in question here, because why did this issue escalate? That it has become a full-fledged riot. More than 6 people have died, including 2 police personnel. A mosque has been torched. There's been a complete backlash. You look at various areas. Section 144 has been imposed. Delhi is tense. Gurugram is tense. Whole of that Delhi, Gurugram, Haryana belt is tense. So for a social media post, so here we need to understand that it might have started, the trigger point might have been 2 individuals. But what has the government done? What has the police establishment done? What are the enforcement agencies doing? Why did they let an incident on social media? Why did they allow it to flare up? That became a communal outburst, that became a religious riot. So I think here the authorities need to be pulled up. They need to be asked some very tough questions, because
and let me tell you that India Today is the only channel asking those tough questions to the Haryana government. We've just grilled the Home Minister as well. I'll come to the part of accountability of the Haryana government and the police, which is very important, in just a moment. I want to focus for the moment right now on what we found in these social media posts. Vishnu Gupta, आपका क्या कहना है इस पर? जो सोशल मीडिया में जो चल रहा था एक हफ्ते के लिए, जुलाई 23rd को लेकर जुलाई 31st तक, विष्णु गुप्ता, काफी सोशल मीडिया पे भड़काऊ चीज चल रही थी दोनों साइड से। दोनों साइड बोल रहे हैं कि एक ही साइड से चल रहा था, लेकिन अगर हम ये फेसबुक के स्ट्रीम्स देखेंगे, इंस्टाग्राम के स्ट्रीम्स देखेंगे विष्णु जी, ये तो साबित होता है कि दोनों साइड से काफी प्रोवोकेटिव चीज बोले जा रहे थे।
जी, ऐसा है, दोनों साइड से ऐसा जब काम चल रहा था और वहाँ की लोकल पुलिस और जितने भी विभाग होते हैं पुलिस के, वो सभी लोगों ने उस पर नजर रखी। पुलिस को उस समय भी उस पर कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए थी, क्योंकि भड़काऊ भाषण या भड़काऊ बयानबाजी कहीं से भी होती है तो वो आगे भविष्य में चल के नुकसानदायक होती है। वही भड़काऊ भाषण, भड़काऊ बयानबाजी आगे दंगे में तब्दील होगी। और मैं मेवात की हिस्ट्री में बताना चाहता हूँ, जो लोग दूर दराज के हैं, जो मेवात को नहीं जानते हैं, मैं बताना चाहता हूँ, मेवात आतंकवाद का गढ़ बन चुका है और दिल्ली और एनसीआर में अपराध का गढ़ है। जितने भी बड़े अपराध और अपराधी और जितने भी बड़े कांड टाइप जो होते हैं, वो सब के तार मेवात के यहाँ से जुड़े होते हैं और वहां कोई भी पुलिस आसानी से वहां कार्रवाई भी नहीं कर सकती। इसलिए दिल्ली के भी कुछ छोटे मोटे केस और छोटा मोटा जितना भी फ्रॉड होता है वो मेवात से ही होता है। वहां पुलिस जाते हुए भी डरती है। इसीलिए ये जो दंगा हुआ है इसमें लोकल पुलिस का बिल्कुल फेलियर है और मैंने इसीलिए माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी को पत्र भेजा है आज और कहा है एसपी और डीएम और वहां के डीसी को बर्खास्त किया जाए तत्काल। ये मैंने मांग की है और मैं मानता हूं यहाँ पे लोकल प्रशासन की बहुत बड़ी फेलियर है, बहुत बड़ी फेलियर है। और भड़काऊ बयानबाजी यदि कहीं से भी हो रही थी, जो आप दिखा रहे हो, अभी भी मैं मीडिया में देख रहा हूं, लेकिन पुलिस ने समय रहते हुए कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं की, क्यों नहीं उन लोगों को अरेस्ट किया गया। और जहां तक मोनू मानेसर का सवाल है, मोनू का एक वीडियो सामने आया है, मोनू ने कहीं भी उसमें भड़काऊ बयानबाजी बोली है तो मुझे एक भी छोटी सी क्लिप आप मुझे दिखा दो जिसमें मोनू ये बोल रहा है कि हम मुसलमानों को धमकी दे रहा है या कहीं और दंगा करने की बात कर रहा है। भाई, दंगा करने की बात और धमकी देने की बात सिर्फ वहां दूसरे पक्ष की ओर से आ रही है, जिन्होंने मेवात को गढ़ बना दिया है जिहाद का। उनके खिलाफ कानून सख्त कार्रवाई करने में नाकाम रहा है।
लेकिन अगर आप बिट्टू बजरंगी के वीडियोस देखेंगे विष्णु जी, उसमें भी काफी भड़काऊ बयान तो है ही। बिट्टू बजरंगी जो है बजरंग दल के,
सुनिए, भड़काऊ बयान है तो मैं यह कहना चाहता हूं, भड़काऊ बयान है तो उस समय रहते हुए कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं की गई।
हाँ बिल्कुल,
इस पे मैं
सहमत हूं, इस पे मैं सहमत हूं। सायरा,
मुसलमान हो,
Saira, Vishnu Gupta says exactly what you said, which is that if all these videos were happening, there should have been some kind of crackdown on these people, whether it was Mohammad Samar, whether it was Bittu Bajrangi or whoever it is. So the question arises, as far as the Haryana police or government is concerned, whether this was negligence or complicity. It's a reasonable doubt to have now.
Absolutely. Now, another thing, forget about who put what on social media. Take the irresponsibility of our political leaders. Look at the Haryana Home Minister, Anil Vij. He is giving such blatant, misleading statements that 3,000, 4,000 people were held hostage by Muslim rioters in a temple, at the Nalha Mahadev temple, when the priests clearly refuted that claim. And here, people outside, a police station are making inflammatory comments and telling them to boycott a particular community. So now, when these self-proclaimed religious leaders or people of a political party, be it, positions of authority like the Home Minister, CM, or whoever it might be, if you're giving misleading statements which gets refuted, this will further add fuel to the fire. Then you've seen how these incidents trigger up, and vehicles were torched. There were incidents of shops that were vandalized, that were burned down, and it's all it happened in the vicinity of Haryana, Delhi, Gurugram, and all these adjoining areas. No, I mean, look at even the posh colonies. Even they are tense. the cops have to double up their role because
Saira,
clearly
what about
there has been negligence.
what Vishnu Gupta just talked about, which is about the how Nuh has become an epicenter for cybercrime and online scams. That is something that is also difficult to ignore. क्योंकि इस दंगे में one police station, a cybercrime police station, has been destroyed by rioters. We now see that, the possible trigger point for this entire violence was on July the 23rd. Possibly, when a Muslim man died in police custody in Faridabad, on cyber fraud charges. So, that part of it also cannot be ignored. What Vishnu Gupta is saying is that this entire place has become a huge epicenter of cybercrime and no action has been taken.
See, cybercrime is a separate issue. Definitely, it requires that it deserves. However, we need to also look at these sporadic attacks that are happening across India. Look at what happened at the Rajasthan Express. A constable has shot down 4 people in broad daylight. So we cannot segregate this incident or that incident. Let me be very clear that the marginalized communities, the minorities communities are being attacked, and it's very convenient for political gains, and it's very convenient to blame it on them. Whereas it might have been a trigger point. There might be 2 people putting up political posts or incendiary posts on social media. Why didn't these posts get checked?
I agree with that.
Take strict action. Because that was the trigger point. And the issue got escalated. And there's so many people that are affected. There are 6 people who have died in these religious riots in Haryana. There have been 4 people who died on the Jaipur Express train. Manipur is burning. I mean, now seriously, heads need to roll. It's
Vishnu Gupta
more than enough.
जी
बोलिए, आप क्या बोलेंगे इस पर?
ऐसा है, सेपरेट इशू नहीं है। मैं यहाँ ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि जितने भी गलत काम हो रहे हैं, जितना भी क्राइम हो रहा है, वो सब मेवात से हो रहा है। मेवात से उसके तार जुड़े होते हैं। जितनी भी गाड़ियां चोरी होती हैं, जितने भी आतंकवाद में भी आप देखोगे, बहुत सारे स्पेशल सेल के भी लोग वहां जाके कार्रवाई नहीं कर पाते हैं। ये बहुत दुर्भाग्य, क्योंकि मेवात जो है उनका गढ़ बन चुका है, और मेवात में गढ़ बनने के बाद वो ये सोचते हैं कि वहां के हिंदू, बहुत सारी घटनाएं आपने देखा होगा, हिंदू वहां के मुसलमानों से दब के रहे, वहां अपनी शोभा यात्रा ना निकालें। भाई क्यों ना निकालें? हिंदुस्तान है, वो पाकिस्तान थोड़ी नहीं है, ठीक है? तो वहां शोभा यात्रा निकल रही थी, तो उसमें दिक्कत क्या थी? और इसीलिए मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूँ, शोभा यात्रा को सफलता पूर्वक से निकालने की जिम्मेदारी वहां के लोकल पुलिस प्रशासन की थी, जो वहां फेलियर हो चुका है। उनकी जिम्मेदारी बनती थी कि यात्रा को सफलता पूर्वक सफल बनाए।
I want to say that the one thing the 3 of us agree on, and Vishnu and Saira, thank you for being with me, is that the person in the dock is Haryana's Chief Minister ML Khattar, the police chief, the local police in Nuh in the Mewat region, because there has been an absolutely criminal dereliction of duty. If all of these social media posts were known, as we've revealed for the first time here on India Today, why was no action taken? Each of these people were easily identifiable. Their addresses would have been known easily to the police. This could have been avoided. 6 people could have been saved. And who knows how much damage? It's still being assessed. That's how bad it really is. Who's going to pay for all that damage now is the big question. Why didn't the Haryana police act earlier? We will continue to ask that question. Thanks for watching this edition of 5 Live. I'll see you at the same time tomorrow.